The next step in the process for Belle of a Bunny is to embroider the nose. Now, in order to do that, we will need 3 pins to mark off the spaces where the nose is going to be. Now, when I do the nose, I like it to fall between the eyes. So I insert my first pin just to the right hand side of the left eye, and my second pin just to the left hand side of the right eye. You want to make sure that your distances are the same for the pins. You don't want one closer and one further away. So that one needs to move a little bit that way. And then we're going to count. See, that's the round that we put it in. So 1, 2, 3 rounds. In the center, we're going to put our third pin so that we are creating a triangle with our pins. We're going to be working our nose in between these triangles. I then use a medium-sized needle with some black yarn on it to create my nose. Now, to start, we're just going to go in randomly at any point in the head, and we're going to come out here by the nose pin. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to take the nose pin out, pull my yarn through. Again, I want to leave a yarn tail hanging out. I don't want to pull all of the yarn through, so that I can later tie it off as we did with the face sculpting. So just make sure that your short yarn tail stays there. Now, next, we're going to go in by this pin and out by that pin. So in and out. You can then take these 2 pins away. Pull our yarn through, and we've got the first side of our triangle. We're going back to this point, and we're going to go back out there again. By pulling through, we are creating the top side of our triangle that will form our nose. And then finally we're going back in the middle here, and we're going to come out at the top. Like that. And we pull tight. Well, not tight, just pull through. Okay. Now you've created a triangle like that on the top of a nose, of a muzzle. That triangle is where you're going to work your nose. In order to do that, we are going to make many stitches that all enter at the tip of a triangle. So we enter at the tip, come out on the side there, pull through. See, that's our first line. Go in at the tip, exit a little bit to the right of where we exited before, and pull through. And we're just going to keep repeating this process as we are colouring in the triangle with our black yarn. Now, you'll see initially that there are gaps between the black lines we're putting in. Don't worry about it, we will fill them in as we go along. We just keep continuing the process. It takes a little bit of patience, but it's really not difficult to do. And you can use this type of nose on basically any kind of teddy that you want to make, just like you can use the needle sculpting we did to create eye sockets on pretty much any kind of teddy you want to make to create gentle eye sockets. You'll find it immediately takes your teddy to the next level, just making it more attractive. You'll find with amigurumi your face is 90% of the game. If you can make the face attractive, people will love your toy. If you don't get the face right, people are not going to like your toy, even if everything else is perfect. So really do take your time when you are creating the facial features on any toy, not just this one. It's well worth it. Particularly if you intend to sell your products. With all my patterns, the pattern itself is copyrighted and you can't share that with anybody else, but the product you make from my pattern, you are more than welcome to sell as you see fit, so long as you comply with whatever laws your country has for cottage industries. I do not mind if you sell your final product. You made it, it's yours to do with as you please. So long as you don't share the pattern. You can see we're now starting to go back and we're just filling in wherever there was an open spot between lines. So it's really just a series of big stitches next to and over each other to color in the triangle. And you can see each time I pick a spot where there's a little bit of a light pink showing through to exit at, so that I can lay the next thread down over that to cover the empty spot. At this point we've pretty much covered it, so I'm going to go back out on the top outside tip. You can do this on either side, it doesn't matter which side you pick. It's just to get you to the top. And then take a good look at your nose, make sure you've coloured in everywhere that you want to colour in. You'll find some of your stuffing will have pulled out. You can just gently take that off your nose. Now if you look at the top line here, you'll see it's become a little bit uneven and we want to fix that. So we're basically going to just make that big top stitch again like that to even it out. And if you think it's necessary, you can even repeat the top stitch twice. And then exit again where I started originally, so that both tails are coming out the same hole. And you'll see that gives you the nose for Bella the bunny. What we now want to do is we want to split the muzzle in half using a big black stitch. So even though I came out here, I'm going to go back into the same spot, and I want to come out here at the tip of the nose where we've been working most of all of our stitches through. Now what we want to do is we want to use this thread on the outside to split the muzzle in half like that. So we're coming out at the tip and we're going to go in at the bottom here, right where the muzzle meets the head, and we're just going to make a really big stitch there. I'm not sure if this needle is big enough. Let's just see. Just need to angle more. So you're basically going in between what had been point 1 and point 4. And you want to make sure that you come back out again at that same tip spot. There we go. Pliers, that's what you call them. Use your pliers if you're struggling a bit. As we tighten the stitch, make sure that it falls in the middle of a muzzle, like that. And then you are going to literally just pull it tight. You'll see as you pull it tight, it starts to split the muzzle in half, and it starts to create a rounded part and a rounded part. Now, one stitch generally isn't sufficient to hold that, so you want to repeat this stitch in at the same point at the bottom, and you want to again come out at the same point at the top. There we go. And pull tight again, and you'll see now the muzzle is nicely split, it's nice and even. So at this point what I like to do is just go in there under all of those stitches that I made, like so. Pull the yarn through just to sharpen it into a tip. I do it a second time, go under all the stitches. You can see it gives your nose a sharper tip over here, and then you want to go in and come out again at the same spot where you started originally, so that your two ends are again in the same opening. A pair of pliers is really useful if you're going to be working on large amigurumis with chunky yarn. And there we go. That completes the muzzle and the nose of Bella the bunny. You can then cut this shorter, tie a knot, and hide it away in the head. Or you can just tie the knot immediately. This is how you secure your ends to make sure that they don't come loose. Once you've sewn something, it should be stuck there forever. Cut it off. And then we're just going to push it through the hole and into the head. You can see as you do that, it completely disappears as if it was never there. There we go.